I don't like it very much, but I don't know exactly why I don't like it very much. So. Hello, Beatbox family. I got a new camera angle and a notepad so I don't forget things. So the first thing is, I've sort of set a goal for myself to upload once a day, and I don't really have time to make multiple reactions, so I'm just going to be reacting to one person. And that person is someone who was like my first suggestion in the comments. I'll probably put just a screenshot of whoever suggested this right here. I don't remember your name, but I'm pretty sure it's had some X's in it. So they recommended H1ppy's International Throwdown wildcard, and when I looked him up, I saw he had a GBB wildcard as well. I didn't see that one. I saw Max and D Mellows, but I didn't see H1ppy, so I'm excited to see how this one is because I've never heard him before. So what I'm gonna do for this video is I'm gonna watch through it first without pausing them. I'm gonna go through and analyze, and then I'm gonna give 3 positives and 2 constructive criticisms, coming from somebody who isn't the best beatboxer, but I like music, so I'll see what I can give. And the last thing I want to say is I have an info card up there somewhere about my first video, which was just me explaining basically who I am, so I don't have to do it every single video. Check that out if you're interested, but let's get right in.
Yo, this is H1ppy from Israel, and this is my wildcard for the International Throwdown.
21!
Whatever he said.
Straight into it. They're in the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, that's nasty.
Yep.
Is it? Was that snort?
Rip.
Definitely has bounce to it.
Yeah.
Max's smile in the back. Okay. Okay. So, initial thoughts. First off, that bass, I think it's a snort bass, although I'll definitely look back at that. It sort of sounded, it was really deep for a snort bass, if it was. But that was nasty, and that really gets your stank face going. Another thing that stood out to me was the bounce, the flow. I don't know, the bounce. You know, bounce with me. But just you couldn't help but bob your head to it. I love that in a beat. What I also remember is just the technical combo he did at the end. That really stood out for me. I don't know if it was very pleasing to listen to. It was like pretty impressive, but it was really, I looked at it like, okay. I mean, that's impressive, but I'm not sure how into the sound I was. But yeah, that's what stood out for me the first time through. I don't have a great short-term memory, so I definitely want to go back and I'll just cut it up and you'll see me analyzing through the video. Let's analyze that. Don't sue me, please.
Yo, this is H1ppy from Israel, and this is my wildcard for the international throwdown.
Wait.
21!
Whatever you said.
What is that? It's the me Plaza music, or it's the Wii something. Okay. Jeez, that took me way too long to figure out. Back to actually analyzing the video. Hippie's part, at least. Like that drum pattern. Okay. So first off, I really liked the intro before the spit snare came in. I expected it to really come in hard, and the first one especially, but the first kind of 2 or 3 weren't as like hard hitting, and then he sort of got it near the he sort of got the sort of highs in there later, but when it comes in you can't really hear it. But yeah, it did take, yeah, so that's one thing. Okay, I really like that. What is that? Let's see. Is that a... What is that? Is that... Is that an inward bass? It's has such a weird texture. I don't know. I like his poly. It has great texture to it. I really like this part. Okay. I love, I just recently saw Codfish's elimination for 2019, and I just and anytime there's a bass where it switches between sort of like textures, so here it's sort of like cleaner and then deeper and dirtier, I think, or higher and dirtier. Yeah, so it goes like higher and filthier. I really like the switching between the two basses there. Okay, so it's sort of like a really like evolution type beat where he just keeps sort of adding to it and making little variations until we have this beat at the end with the little clicks. Okay, so I mean, it seems like he's kind of losing it. Like with Stitch's polyphonic, he can just sort of like, bam, hit it, hit it, hit it. But he seems like he's sort of falling out of it. Maybe it's part of the style to be like, sort of like, if coming in and out of it. But I'm not sure about that style if it's deliberate. But yeah, it sounds like he's sort of losing. Yeah, I mean, I think it's deliberate. But I'm not sure I like it very much. I mean, it adds variation from the first time he does it, but I'm not sure how good that sounds to me. Yeah, this is my favorite part so far. Okay, I'm gonna have to look through that again, but there's really not much I see that I don't like there. If anything, the bounce is really good. The sounds, the flipping through the basses, the little technical. I like how they aren't really hard. I can't beatbox like at all, but they're very like clicky and high pitched, sort of like delicate in the background instead of being like really hard technical stuff. I sort of like it sort of just like accents it. Yeah, so I just noticed that sort of like a kissing noise he does. I think it's like an inward. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about that other than I really like that part. Let's move on. I can love Max's face here. He's trying not to smile.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to bounce to this. It's sort of like... And then it... Okay, so the last thing to talk about is that last drop, because while technically it seems pretty good, and I'll have to check to hear if there's any like technical parts like percussion that are sort of lacking, but it just doesn't really seem to have bounce to me, the way it just sort of like I don't know. Maybe it's not, it switched into a different genre of music that I don't like very much, that I'm not aware of because I don't really know a lot of subgenres of music. But yeah. So it's like So is it going in triplets? Yeah. I'm just gonna think about this last drop for a second, see if I can dissect it any further. Because I don't like it very much, but I don't know exactly why I don't like it very much. So I think it's just weird for me. A lot of when you're dealing with sort of like time signatures and sort of like just weird musical things where it technically works, but sometimes it's hard to make it work in a way that you really feel the flow and can really bob your head to it. I think maybe it doesn't ever like resolve for me at the end of the bar. Yeah, let's get into now my 3 positives and 2 negatives. Okay, I think I got a pretty good list here of what I think. So first off, we're gonna start with a positive. So I really liked one of the special effects special sounds that he had was his snort bass. I think it's a snort bass. I'm pretty certain it's a snort bass. But I mentioned this earlier, but the way he was swapping through the different textures, that was very it sort of was like that throughout the round, but I really liked that, so I didn't mind that he revisited that. And actually piggybacking off of that, I also wrote down that I really liked how thematic it was. It wasn't like multiple routines that he just like tried to find some sort of transition between. It was very like I said like earlier, it was very like an evolutionary beat where he kept adding to it, it kept doing variations of it. There were sounds that stayed throughout the wildcard, but I wasn't bothered by that because he was adding little variations to them, and it wasn't like he kept repeating himself over and over and over. It was the same sort of sound, but using a different technique using that sound, and I really liked that. Everything matched in sort of like a good sound profile or something. There weren't any sounds that were like, okay, why did you do that? Just because you can do it? They all seem to fit into this nice theme. And last is not really very specific, but just sort of like the bounce. I really respect someone that can put together someone that can really make you bounce your head, and I think it was helped by the kind of genre of music that he was doing, but I don't really know exactly. I think it was that he kept tempo pretty well. Geez, I don't know, man. It had good bounce, and I like a good bounce. And for my constructive criticisms, although take these with a grain of salt, isn't that the saying? Because I'm definitely no pro beatboxer. So I mentioned that I really liked his snort bass, and I really liked his poly, the texture of his poly, but remember I said I really didn't like the way he was using sort of like a voice crack with it was sort of like a poly yodel. I don't know. I didn't really like that, and it sort of sounded like he was sort of slipping out of it, like that he hadn't fully mastered it yet. So it's like maybe if you, I mean, I maybe it was all intentional and I just didn't get it, but I think maybe stick to the things that you have mastered, and if you haven't mastered poly yet, then maybe don't put it in, or sort of just like sprinkle it in there instead of making it sort of the focus of one of the drops. And my last sort of constructive criticism, although it's sort of like more an opinion thing, is the last drop. Just sort of overall, I think I don't know much about musical theory, but I think it's that like the time signature was like weird. I don't know. While I said that it had really good bounce overall, that part was like, I was like, wow, that's really cool, but like, where's the flow? I mean, I guess it has flow, but it's kind of you know when there's clearly this person has flow, but you're like, it's such a complex beat that you're like, you're trying to find it. Like, it's not clear where the flow is. You sort of have to find it, and then maybe after a while of listening to it, then you can be like, oh yeah, okay, I like this. But right upon first view, it's like, okay, maybe chill with the technicalities. Like, I get it, you're good, but it's kind of hard to find the flow there. But that's, yeah, that's my constructive criticisms from someone who has basically no idea what they're talking about, but I wrote them down, so I'm not sure what I meant by that. Outro time. Check out the original video, as well as I'll put the channel link in the video, although you just click on the video and then go to the channel, so I don't know why you did it. And I also put his Instagram, if he has one. I'm sure he has one. Like, every beatboxer's gotta have their beatboxer Instagram. I don't know. I have a playlist that I'll put an info card up here and in the description for all my beatbox reaction. They're in chronological order from the first video to the last, so good. And subscribe, like, comment, hit the bell. Comment any reactions that you want me to do. This is sort of the style I want to do, is just because, I mean, everyone's just sort of reacting, and I really want to add to it and sort of give my take, even though I really don't know much. So coming from someone who speaks like they know what they're talking about, but totally doesn't. Yes, and also DM me on Instagram if you want. Great is just a person to talk to, in my opinion, but as also just like suggestions on how I can make it better, as well as I had something in my mind. I think I was just gonna say that you can also give me reactions there, sort of suggestions for reactions. I mean, by that. Anyways. Bye. I guess maybe I'll do a cover to this really quickly. One sec, I'm just gonna rewatch it. Oh, this is gonna be so bad. Oh hell, I'll just do whatever I think it was or something. Mama. Mama. Mama.